wondering if this is working. Okay, so welcome, I guess, to this little experiment. Oh, there we go. We've got some people joining now. Hi guys, how we doing? Fantastic. We'll just wait and see if we've got any more people joining. I'll just sit here awkwardly. Okay, cool. Right, there's a few people joined, and oh, there's a few more coming up. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Barry. Thanks for the support. Just got it trimmed, especially for this. Cool. Okay. Well, we might as well kick off. There we go. A couple more. Good stuff. Hi guys. How we doing? Perfect. Right. Okay. Okay. So a few more stragglers coming on. Goodness, I don't know what the etiquette is in this and when you're meant to start. Just let people join in. So I might as well just start because I'll be here all night. Yeah, thanks for joining us, or joining me, joining the team for our first attempt at an Instagram live. I think the reason we're doing this is we were having a sort of group meeting a couple of weeks ago and realised we were constantly getting asked very similar questions about braces, and this is not only sort of people inquiring about treatment, but also when we've got patients in treatment, and then sort of parents of kids and brothers and sisters. So we thought, why not have a go at a sort of Q&A session with kind of like-minded people on sort of social media, and see if we can get a few responses out there, give people an opportunity to ask questions and see what we can do. So excuse the amateur attempt here, but we'll hopefully you can get something out of this. The idea was to keep this to about 15 minutes or so. That's kind of short and sweet. Please fire away. You can just I think you can just type questions into the wee question box if any have come up. We had a few that have come through beforehand, which I've got written down here, and then I've got a couple just in case we have any awkward silences. I've got a few that we I guess we most commonly get asked on clinic just the last kind of few weeks. So the first one that came in on Instagram was from SRE17. I think you've joined us tonight, so hello. And you were asking about Damon braces in particular, and if they can sort of avoid extractions, give you wider smiles, that sort of thing. So for those that don't know, our Damon braces are a type of fixed on train track brace that they originate in America, so they're very much designed for the big wide American smiles. That was the kind of philosophy behind it. And the idea is if you can, the more that you can widen the smile and expand the smile, the more teeth that you can kind of squeeze in. So they, I say they, as in sort of the Damon sort of group, have advocated sort of less teeth coming out, and that's what they promote and they market. Now we do use Damon a lot in the practice, and it's a fantastic bit of kit. It's got a little kind of locking system on it, and very nice. It wires very comfortable. A lot less sort of the idea is there's a lot less force in the teeth, so people find it less uncomfortable when they're wearing it. So lots of advantages from that point of view. Now in my hands, I probably don't take less teeth out. I think I still sort of plan and everything the same way as I do from a normal cases. So I would never really kind of make that promise or change the way I do things overall with Damon. We don't really like taking teeth out. We avoid it if it's all necessary, but sometimes it just has to be done. There's just physically not enough space in the mouth. So it's each case to itself. So I've not really answered your question, but yes, overall, if you're looking at Damon stuff, they'll tend to say kind of less chance of having teeth out, which maybe for some orthodontists, but for me it's probably the same amount for that I do for our normal fixed braces. Okay, so I hope that's been helpful. The other questions we've had through, we had one from a parent asking what age should children be seen to be assessed for braces and orthodontics. Now that is pretty pertinent at the moment, because normally what the process would be, you would be seeing your dentist for checkup, your family dentist, and they would normally around about the age kind of primary 7, first year high school, coming into teenage years, they would normally sort of recommend to go and see the orthodontist. So someone like ourselves at Park, or one of the other specialist clinics around the city, around the country. And then we carry out an assessment and can give you the information on whether braces are needed, or whether to wait, or what's going to be involved. So there's that's what normally happens, but when COVID hit, we've had this kind of 2-year kind of vacuum of checkups from family dentists, which I really feel for them, because there's a lot of pressure on them now to get through the backlog, but they're still dealing with a lot of the sort of the toothaches and the damage that's sort of been sitting out there as well. So getting a checkup at a dentist can be some way off as well, particularly for kids. And then what that means is we've got kids now who maybe we want to have seen when they were 12, 13, who are now kind of 15, 16, and potentially had problems that we would want to have treated a wee bit earlier. But now is kind of we're into mid to late teenage years, which makes it a little bit more difficult to get hold of. So I suppose to answer the question, in post-COVID times, ideally we want to see kids coming to the end of sort of primary age, just for an assessment, make sure everything's okay, and then if they're if you feel that you can't get through from your dentist, then we've had more parents who are taking the bull by the horns, as it were. And at our practice, we're more than happy if you want to phone us up directly and book yourself in for an assessment. Then we're happy to do that, and we can give you all the advice that you need at that point. Both whatever type of brace or whatever type of problem you've got. Okay, so. So long way to answer, but normally around about the age of kind of 11, 12, and if your dentist picks something up, then for sure make sure you get an appointment with an orthodontist. Good. So the other type of questions we get, I'm trying to keep things as relevant as possible, because we've had again post-COVID, there's been a bit of an increase in the uptake of a type of appliance called Invisalign, which is a completely different way to straighten teeth than what we would be traditionally thought of as a brace. So if you think of the kind of kids with train tracks in particular, and again these are the kind of the typical NHS brace, I suppose, and they're tried and tested, they do a very good job. But with the American company Invisalign coming in and very much producing products for children and for teenagers, so you can have, rather than having the train tracks, you can have like the just little clear plastic trays that you wear pretty much all the time, except for eating and for cleaning, and it in the right cases, it can straighten the teeth really, really nicely. A lot of advantages there. You can take them out for eating, so you can eat what you like. You can take them out to clean your teeth, so we've got much less risk of damage to the surface of the teeth and the gums, because proper toothbrushing, you can even get floss in there as well, and then clean the aligner and put it back in. Certainly a lot more comfortable, a lot less things can break or come loose, which generally means at our practice that there's a lot less appointments required. So we're not having to lose so much time off school, and parents, not having to take so much time off work and that sort of thing as well. So It's been a real sort of revolution in the way that we've been treating adults and now children as well. And the sort of the feedback and the results we're getting are really good. So we can't I guess we can't speak highly of it enough, and it it's not for everyone, but that's the whole point, is we can give the options, whether it would be traditional braces or Invisalign would be best for yourself, and then at the end of the day it's generally the family's decision. And then that we've had then quite a few questions around Invisalign, things like what can I eat with braces. And again, when you're looking at traditional braces, you need to avoid any foods that are crunchy, sticky, things that will break the brace, stick to the brace, cause damage, difficult to clean. But then with Invisalign, you can have a pretty much normal diet as long as you're cleaning the teeth, cleaning the aligners before putting them back in. You'll be okay. Coming off Invisalign, the next question that came through, sort of more to our practice, I suppose, was do retainers cost extra? So retainers are the little vital little things that stop the teeth moving after you've had braces on, and then whether that's Invisalign or traditional braces. And they can be little clear plastic mouth guards that you wear overnight, and they can also be little wires that are stuck to the teeth, what we sometimes call fixed retainers. So in our practice, we include that in the price of the treatment if you're going ahead, so there's no additional cost there. But you might find that other practices will charge in addition, so it's always a good question to ask, because it can be quite expensive, can add on to the price if you're working out your budget. The last kind of question I've got that came through was about attending the orthodontist, and again, how kind of COVID changes things, when we kind of had to adapt to people really not not coming into the practice as much for obviously for safety's sake, and only coming in when it's essential. Then we with a bit of lucky foresight, we had taken on a collaboration with a company called Dental Monitoring, who basically is a little app on your phone, and they can do video links. You can send in photos. You can there's loads of little kind of emails and responses. But the main part of it was when you're wearing aligners in particular, being able to send in pictures of your aligner and how well they're fitting. So when we got shut down, our because of COVID, not any other reason, because of COVID, the dental monitoring patients, we were able to keep a really close eye on them. We encouraged our other patients to send photos in and stuff if they're having problems, but with dental monitoring and people who had aligners, we were able to keep an eye on them. So again, that's a real kind of area that we've developed, because we then realised, chatting to the patients who were on that through lockdown, how grateful they were, and then coming out the other end now, all of a sudden they're not having to take as much time off work, and even though we're not seeing them in person as much, we're actually checking in with our dental monitoring and Invisalign patients every week to make sure they're okay. So they've been monitored actually a lot more closely than our fixed braces, our traditional brace patients, because we only really see them every 6 to 8 weeks when they come in for the tightens and the adjustments, or of course if there's any problems, any breakages, we can see them sooner. So again, I think the answer to that question really is we're probably seeing patients a little bit less than every couple of months for a traditional brace, and then for an aligner Invisalign, we're looking about every kind of 3 to 4 months, and then only really bringing in when something absolutely needs done. Okay, so I hope that's answered enough questions. It's a very strange experience just talking to myself in the phone here. So I hope that's been helpful, and say if you've got any more questions, then please just fire them in. If you found this useful, great, let us know. I'm happy to do this again if we get some good feedback, or any other sort of formats we can do this on. Good, and there's good. Oh, there's some people listening. I'm getting some thank you messages there, so that's fantastic. I'll let you all get back to your evenings. Thanks for joining in, and we'll maybe see you for the next one. Keep a lookout. Cheers.